Good morning, Stampers. Happy Thursday and welcome to Connect to Create. I'm Pat Fairless from Fairless Stamp and Flair. And if this is your first time with us at Connect to Create, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Connect to Create is a collaboration between myself and a fellow demonstrator, Kathy Ondas. And we attempt to bring you a video each week with a new technique. And we don't typically show the making of the complete card. We just show you how to do the technique, and then we'll show you some samples that use that technique. So we're glad you're here. And today I'm going to be sharing a technique that I discovered on Pinterest, maybe a month or so ago. And I've become addicted. This is an awesome technique, and it's a lot of fun, and it's really easy, and it's a great way to use up that stash of designer series paper that you have, because I know you have one. We all do, right? So it's called Twisted Ribbon, and I'm going to turn my camera down, and let's go ahead and get started. Okay. It requires a minimal amount of supplies. You need a piece of either basic white, or actually you could use any color, but a piece of cardstock and either designer series paper or some strips of colored cardstock. I am going to be using the Hello Irresistible designer series paper it's an online exclusive only. And here are some of the beautiful colors and the designs in here. This is gorgeous paper. If you haven't seen it, you should go online and check it out. Very soft, pretty pastel colors. So I'm going to show you a card first that I used making this particular paper. And when I did it, I had a hard time deciding which one of the designer papers I wanted to use, but I decided to use this one. And this is the back side, and so we use typically both sides. But what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you first the card that I made with that, because I want you to understand what we're going to do and what the outcome is. So this is the card that I used, and hold on just a second. I got to check if I got sound. Yeah, I think I do. I hope I have sound. So you can see here, I used both sides of this paper. The background, or the back piece of the so-called ribbon, is this side, and then the front is this side. But when I did this card, I had a hard time, I'll be honest. I had a really hard time deciding which paper I wanted to use. I didn't know if I wanted to use this one, or I liked this one. I wanted something with Lost Lagoon, one of our returning colors. Thought this one was really pretty. And I also liked this one. So today I am going to use this one. And we're going to make this twisted ribbon panel right here with that particular cardstock. And I already have them cut. So what this uses is the basic white in the background is 2 inch by 5.5, and the ribbons are 1/2 inch strips. Okay, so I already have all of those cut, and I need 3 of patterned and 3 of the backs. But the first thing we do is we start with our basic white cardstock, and I will be honest. This is, like I said, 2 by 5.5. You can make this different widths. I do have another card I'm going to show you that I made it a little bit wider. So it just depends on what you want to do. But the first step is we take this strip here of our background piece. And again, like I said, I used white for all of my cards, but you could certainly use a colored cardstock. You could use very vanilla. Whatever goes along with your paper. I just wanted to make sure you could see it easily on here, and I think you can most easily see how it's done with this. So you take this piece, and with the 5.5 inch piece length at the top, you're going to score at every 1/2 inch. Okay, and I'm guessing I don't usually score in this direction. I go vertically this way, but I couldn't get my Simply Scored pal to fit into the camera well. So, oops. So it's a little awkward for me, but we're just going to score at each 1/2 inch. So I don't know how well you can see those. Probably a little difficult to see the scoring. Can we see it better on this side? Yeah, you can see. So it's scored at every 1/2 inch. And the only reason we're using those score lines is just so we can determine where to put our strips, okay? They're all going to get covered up. So if you muff like I did right here where it slipped, because I'm not used to going horizontally, it won't show. It's no big deal. So now I'm going to start with the piece that I want as the background. So the pieces that angle down, I'm going to lay those on first. So we will use these particular pieces here because the Hello Irresistible designer paper is 6x6. With 6x6 length, you will need at least 6 pieces, 3 of each side. If you just use scraps, just use however much you need. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to add some adhesive to the back. You can certainly use whatever you like. If you prefer liquid adhesive, that works great. I just happen to be a snail person. So you're going to take this top edge here and you're going to line it up with the corner at this top. And then you're going to come down and find the first score mark at 1/2 inch and lay the top edge on that side. So it's probably, like I said, it's already covered up, but this was where that score line was, the first 1/2 inch. And then what I found works best is if you trim it as you go along. So I'm going to come in and I'm just going to use this edge as my guide and take my paper snips and snip that off. And I should have found someplace to put my scraps because I'm going to have lots of scraps, right? Okay, and then we're going to cut off the other side. And here's what's really nice is we can now take this piece and we're going to go down to the next score mark, which is right here. So 1/2 inch down or 1 inch down from the top, because we just cut this at this angle over here. This will just lay right up against that edge. Now, I need my glasses to see this a little bit better because the camera is right where I need to stick my head. So let's hope I'm getting it about in the right spot there. I'm just going to line that top edge again with the score mark, and then I'm going to bring this down and line it on this side, okay? So add my adhesive, line that up. I just kind of hold this edge and then bring it down to where the score mark is. And those should then be parallel, okay? So now we just trim this side off. And that piece is not long enough for another piece, so we have to start again. So we're going to continue. And line it again with that next score line, the top edge, and bring the top edge down to align to the top of the next one. And then we trim. And we're going to do this all the way down. With the first side. Oops. Okay, there we go. Here's the next one. And see how easy that is? It's just super simple. And honestly, it's a lot easier when you don't have a camera in your way. I know everybody says that. You'd think we'd figure out how to do it after a while, but. Okay, align again the top edge with the score line and angle it down to the top of the score line on the opposite side and trim. And one last piece. The bottom one, align that top corner and bring it down to the corner of the cardstock. Probably should do is have my silicone mat here because my Stampin' Seal really wants to stick. Now we've got a trim. Again, we're just going to use this edge. And I missed it just a hair, so let's just pull it off. I saw a little edge of white. I'll blame the camera. The camera's in my way. You gotta say, Stampin' Seal is sticky because it really wants to stick to my fingers. Okay. So I'm just going to trim this down straight, and here I'm going to trim this along the bottom. Okay, and we are half done. See how easy this is? This is why I love it. It's fun. Now we're going to take the other side and we're going to angle it up. And so we're going to be working with the bottom edge each time. And I probably should have my leaves going up, right? So I'm going to add some adhesive. And I don't know why I had the silicone mat there because I still did it over here. Not used to that, I guess. So we'll put this here, angle at that corner. And this bottom corner over here is going to the top of our cardstock over here. And it slipped just a tad on me. It keeps sticking to my fingers. Okay. There we go. Now we have to trim. And so I'm just going to trim straight down with the side. We will trim up with this side. And then we'll trim across the top. Just put the edge of your snips, the blade of your snips right along the edge and trim. And see how easy that was? Now, what works great is as we come up here, this angle that we cut straight up here matches this again. And we're just going to work our way down. If you have trouble aligning liquid glue and you like liquid glue, go ahead and use liquid glue, whatever works best for you. If you're using regular cardstock or 12 by 12 designer paper, you won't need 6 strips. Obviously, you'll be able to get away with fewer. And we're going to line the bottom up here and the bottom up with this corner. And again, these will end up being parallel. Adhesive likes to stick to my fingers. Whoops. Okay. Again, line at the bottom and here with the bottom edge. Isn't it great how that angle is just perfect? How many times do things turn out like that? Not very often, right? And one more piece. Where shall I put this one? Doesn't really matter. Let's put it this way. We'll start on this side. I'm just going to line it right there. Kind of hold it and tilt it over until it lines up here. Really, now you're just lining up the designer paper or the ribbon, I guess we could call it. All right, and one more. And here we're going to do the bottom one. So I'm going to line up this bottom corner with the bottom down there. And line it across. And our twisted ribbon strip is finished. Oh, this one's pretty. I like this material. I like this pattern on here. I might even like it better than this one. I don't know. They will look very different. I can do everything else exactly the same. I did use this paper over here, so maybe over here I will put the little check. Just reverse it. What do you think? Isn't that a cool technique? So easy, great way to use up your little strips of paper. Let me go ahead and show you my other cards. Hopefully that was clear how to do that. It's very easy, very few supplies that are needed, which is great. This one, I use the Bright and Beautiful Designer Series paper. This is super colorful paper. This is what the piece looks like in a larger piece. Kind of hard to tell, maybe in the stripes, but I put it on the envelope flap. So that's what this ribbon is. The back side of this pattern here is this lemon lime twist. So that's, and I put this one on the horizontal. Just added my cute little ladybug. And I thought it made a just a cute fun card, right? And here's the inside, just added a strip there. Bright, cheery. Hopefully it'll make somebody smile. And then the other card that I did, since we're coming up on Memorial Day, I kind of wanted to do something patriotic. And so I thought, well, what can I do with red, white, and blue? So I decided to just take out my Real Red cardstock and my Blueberry Bushel cardstock and cut strips from that as opposed to Designer Series paper. So I'm going to bring this in a little bit close. You can see what I did before I cut the strips is I embossed the Blueberry Bushel and the Real Red with my stripes embossing folder from Stripes and Splatters, or Splatters and Stripes pair of embossing folders, just to give it a little texture and a little interest. And then again, I put it on a basic white strip. This one is 2.5 inches wide, but I still scored at 1/2 inch. So you can see that just makes it a little wider, right? But other than that, you do it exactly the same. And with the Grateful Heart came from the Textured Floral stamp set. So I kept it simple because here I wanted my focal point to be red, white, and blue. So that's that card. There was a piece of stars paper in the Bright and Beautiful. And so I also made this card just because I'm like, oh, which one do I like best? I don't know. Do I like stars, or do I like the plain, crisp, and clean, or do I like stars? I don't know. I honestly still don't know. Which one do you like? Maybe leave me a comment. Tell me which is your favorite one. I put the stripes on the inside. So I thought this might be nice to give to somebody who has or is serving in the military, just to tell them we appreciate them and all they do for us. So again, I'll bring in my last card here. Here are the 4 cards. Obviously, these 2 are the same, just one with stripes and one without stripes. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you like. So I hope you like that technique. It is a lot of fun and it is super simple. And like I said, it is great to use up those designer series paper scraps that I know that you have. So let me flip back my camera. All right. That is the twisted ribbon technique. Super simple. All you need is a few strips of 1/2 inch wide paper, a backing piece of cardstock that you score every 1/2 inch, and start adhering it down with your favorite adhesive. So I hope you give it a try. If you like this, will you give us a thumbs up so we can help grow our channels, like and share, so we can find more people to hopefully inspire, and have a great day. We will see you next week. Kathy will be back with something wonderful. Her cards are always gorgeous. Didn't you love the cards she did last week? Oh, that double embossing card was awesome. Especially I love the one with the dainty flowers, whatever I think it's called. So pretty. So if you missed it, I hope you go back and take a look at her video for that technique, and we will see you next week. Have a great one. Bye.